from chapter 23 by Charlotte Bronte.
Jane Eyre, poor, plain, and obscure, comes to work for Everett Rochester, tutoring his ward. Slowly, and fighting her emotions all the way, she comes to love Rochester, despite her knowledge that he is soon to be married to the beautiful Blanche Ingram, whom she knows he does not love.
Unbeknownst to her, Rochester is in love with Jane. He merely uses Miss Ingram as a screen to make Jane jealous and increase her passion for himself. In this scene, Rochester's true feelings are revealed, though he conceals a deep secret that Jane will not perceive until later. Jane, come look at this fellow. Look at his wings. He reminds me rather of a West Indian insect. One does not often see so large and gay a night rover in England. There, he is flown. Turn back. Oh, on so lovely a night, it would be a shame to sit inside the house. And surely no one could wish to go to bed while sunset is thus at meeting with moonrise. Jane, Thornfield is a pleasant place in the summer, is it not?
Yes, sir.
And you have become in some degree attached to the house. You have an eye for natural beauties.
I am attached to you indeed.
And although I don't quite comprehend how it is, I perceive you have developed a degree of regard for that foolish child Adele, too. And for simple Dame Fairfax.
Yes, sir. In different ways, I have an affection for both.
And would be sorry to part with them?
Yes.
Pity. It is always the ways of events in this life. No sooner have you found a pleasant resting place than a voice calls you out to rise and move on. For the hour of repose has expired.
Must I move on, sir? Must I leave Thornfield?
I believe you must, Jane. I'm sorry, Janet. I believe indeed you must.
Well, sir, I shall be ready when the order to march comes.
It is come now. I must give it tonight.
And you are going to be married?
Exactly. Precisely. With your usual acuteness, you have hit the nail straight on the head.
Soon, sir.
Very soon, my dear. That is, Miss Eyre. You remember the first time I, or rumor, plainly intimated to you that it was my intention to take Miss Ingram to my bosom. And I wish to remind you, it was you who first said to me, Adele must go to school. And you, Miss Eyre, must find a new situation.
Yes, sir. I will advertise
In
immediately.
about a month, I hope to be a bridegroom. And in the interim, I myself will look for new employment in an asylum for you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry to give you...
I have heard of a place that I think will suit. It is to undertake the education of 5 daughters of Mrs. Dionysius O'Gall, but in a lodge in Ireland. You're like Ireland, I think. They're such warm-hearted people there, they say.
It's a long way off, sir.
No matter. A girl of your sense will not object to the voyage or the distance.
Not the voyage, but the distance. And then the sea is a barrier.
From what, Jane?
From England. And from Thornfield.
Well,
And from you, sir, it is a long way off.
it is to be sure, Jane. When you get to bed in a lodge in Ireland, I will never see you again. That is morally certain. I never make my way up to Ireland, not having myself much fancy for the country. Jane, we have become good friends, have we not?
Yes, sir.
And when friends are on their eve of separation, they like to spend what little time they have close to each other. Come, let us sit in peace tonight, though we should never more be destined to sit together. Are you anything akin to me, Jane, do you think? Sometimes I have this queer feeling with regard to you, especially when you are close as now. It is as if there was a string somewhere under my left rib, tightly and inextricably knotted to a similar string situated in the corresponding quarter of your little frame. And if that boisterous channel and 200 so miles should come between us, I'm afraid that cord of union will be snapped, and I will take the bleeding inwardly. As for you, you forget me.
That I never should do, sir.
Jane, do you hear that nightingale singing in the wood? Listen.
I wish that I had never been born, or never come to Thornfield.
Because you are sorry to leave it.
I grieve to leave Thornfield. I love Thornfield. I love it because in it I have lived a full and delightful life, momentarily at least. I have not been petrified. I have not been trampled on. I have not been buried with inferior minds and excluded from every glimpse of communion with what is bright energetic and high. I've talked face to face with what I reverence, with what I delight in, with an original, a vigorous, an expanded mind. I have known you, Mr. Rochester, and it strikes me with terror and anguish to feel that I absolutely must be torn from you. I see the necessity of departure, and it is like looking on the necessity of death.
Where do you see the necessity?
Where? You, sir, have placed it before me.
In what shape?
In the shape of Miss Ingram, a noble and beautiful woman, a bride.
My bride? What bride? I have no bride.
But you will have.
Yes, I will. I will.
Then I must go. You have said it yourself.
No, you must stay. I swear it. You shall be kept.
Do you think I can stay to become nothing to you? Do you think that I'm an automaton, a machine without feelings, and can bear to have my morsel of bread snatched from my lips and my drop of living water dashed from my cup? Do you think because I am poor, obscure, plain, and little, that I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much heart as you and full as much soul. And if God had gifted me with some beauty and much wealth, I should have made it as hard for you to leave me as it is for me to leave you. I am not speaking to you now through the medium of custom, conventionalities, nor even of mortal flesh. It's my spirit that addresses yours, just as if both had passed through the grave and we stood at God's feet, equal as we are.
As we are so, Jane.
Yes, and not so, for you are a married man, or as good as one, and wed to one inferior to you, to one whom I know you do not love, for I have seen you sneer at her. I would scorn such an union, therefore I am better than you. Let me go.
To where, Ireland?
Yes, to Ireland. I have spoken my mind and can go anywhere now.
Jane, be still. Don't struggle so like a frantic bird running its own plumage in its desperation.
I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will, which I now exert to leave you.
And your will shall decide your destiny. I offer you my hand, my heart, and a share of all my possessions.
You play a farce, which I merely laugh at.
I ask you to pass through life by my side, to be my second self and my best earthly companion.
For that fate you have already made your choice and must abide by it.
Jane, be still. I will be still too. Come to my side. Let us explain and understand one another.
I will never again come to your side. I am torn away and can never return.
But I summon you as my wife. It is only you I intend to marry. Come, Jane, come hither.
Your bride stands between us.
My bride is here, because my equal is here in my likeness. Jane, will you marry me? Do you doubt me?
Entirely.
You have no faith in me.
Not a whit.
Am I a liar in your eyes? Little skeptic, you shall be convinced. What love have I for Miss Ingram? None, and that you know. What love has she for me? None. I would not, I could not marry Miss Ingram. You strange, you almost unearthly thing. I love you as my own flesh. You as poor and obscure, you as small and plain as you are, I entreat to accept me as a husband.
What, me? Me who have not a friend in the world but you. You are my friend. Not a shilling but what you have given me.
You, I must have you for my own, entirely my own. Will you be mine? Say yes quickly.
Mr. Rochester, turn to the moonlight.
Why?
I want to read your countenance. Turn.
There. It is only more legible than a crumpled, scratched page. Read on. Only make haste, for I suffer. Oh, you torture me with that searching, yet so faithful and generous look. Oh, you torture me.
How can I do that? Your offer real and your feelings true. My only feelings toward you must be those of devotion and gratitude. You cannot torture.
Gratitude? Jane, will you be mine? Say, Edward, Give me my name, Edward. I will marry you.
Are you in earnest? Do you truly love me? Do you sincerely wish me to be your wife?
I do. And if an oath is necessary, I swear it.
Then, sir, I will marry you.
Edward, my little wife.
Dear Edward.
Come to me. Come to me entirely now. Make my happiness, and I will make yours.